All right, we're back. We're live. Paul Tranny, like behind the stage bloopers. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back. It is day 3 for our 3-day stream, and this is the last part. This is it. We saved the best for last.
Oh.
The last day, that is. Everybody was here the last day, so this is the best for last. Anna Rising was just on doing some amazing work with Paul Tranny, animation, just all kinds of cool graphic design. If you missed that, watch the replay after you're done watching Steve.
Done.
And I'm here, Terry White, with Steve Wolf. Steve?
Yeah.
Happy Thursday, Friday, man.
Yeah, I'm excited.
You excited?
Yeah.
At the end of the day yesterday when you were showing the black version of that, I was like, sold.
Yeah.
Sign me up, especially with the orange lettering.
It was a good grind yesterday.
Yeah.
There's going to be one more grind today, but hopefully wrapping some stuff.
Now, you said you might even get to the point to where you can offer the audience their choice. Like they'll get to pick.
Yeah. I'd like to kind of like at closer to the end, line everything up. And actually after this whole thing, I'll probably post it somewhere.
Sweet.
You guys can even keep looking at everything, so.
Maybe like Behance?
Yeah, Behance, social media.
Might want to use that?
Yeah, I'd like to put it all up there. You guys can pick which one you like. So.
All right, 1K. Yeah, hello, Marion. Hello, Kevin. Kevin's been with us all day, at least my 2 sessions.
What's up, Kevin?
Evil Cerise is still on the moderating side of things, doing a great job. All right, so hello, everybody. Welcome. We're back, and we're going to now jump right in. Just remember, if you're watching this on YouTube, that's cool, but it's not as cool as watching it on AdobeLive.com. On AdobeLive.com, you get the advantage of the contest tab where you can win prizes, everything from Creative Cloud memberships to like $1,000 Visa gift card if you download Project Felix and submit some entries. So just keep all that in mind. YouTube's okay, but you're missing out of the full experience at AdobeLive.com. Okay, Steve, you ready?
Let's do this.
You ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
Let's do this.
Let's do it.
All right. Okay. Oh man, he left me an alert without restarting this. Hold on. Let's pop to you. And let's take it to the right. Okay, there we go.
Okay. I got a lot of stuff on my board here. So, all of these options here are kind of what we were doing yesterday. Right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 6 kind of directions I'm going with these. I'm gonna button up a few of the last options here, and then.
Wait, go back to my favorite. I saw it there.
Which one was it? This one?
It was that series.
Yeah,
that's definitely my favorite.
The black one.
So elegant.
Yeah, and so we had this one here with kind of the more softer colors.
I like that one too. That one's rocking as well.
It's got our M here, which everyone was kind of liking.
I like the color choices as well.
Yeah, this is kind of in that black world again, but using a label here. Okay. Just using some shapes. Very simple. Mm-hmm. This was the last thing that I did before I kind of went off. I want to kind of...
Yeah, I remember at the end you were drawing that circle.
Yeah, it was very, literally at the very end.
It's like, oh, I'm done? It
Yeah.
was just a circle on the tin.
So I have this idea where the like the circle here will change out to a different shape depending on the different T.
Okay.
And then we'll change out the yellow color for different colors to kind of differentiate the blends here. And I had this one kind of really crazy simple version up here where
Shanetta says dope.
Oh, dope. Kind of blocking out and playing off of the logo mark here, this M, with all these squares kind of in a grid. And then each kind of block can hold some information. Kind of has a really cool modern feel. And then these little pops of colors are also enough where you can make every blend of tea a little bit different. And I also have this idea where possibly there's a big letter representing the tea that can change out, like a big G for green, for the green tea, and then an O for the oolong tea. I'm gonna play around with that and see how I can kind of lay out that information. But yeah, I'm gonna kind of get going in on this and see how many things I can wrap up.
Cool.
Yeah, and I also need I need to blow out some of the other flavors and blends.
That one's looking cool with the yellow. I would say at this point my favorite 3 are in order.
Okay.
You know which one's first.
You like
Black
this
and
guy?
orange. Second one is 2 more down. That one?
This one?
No.
This one?
This one. Yep.
Okay.
It's my second favorite, and the third favorite is the one you're working on now.
This one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, I need to add.
See how that's my third favorite, and he's not even finished with it yet. I just like where it's going.
Yeah, I think it's a fun concept with this idea of minimalism and simplicity.
And if you're tuning in and you hadn't watched day 1 and day 2 of Steve, the Minimalist Tea Company doesn't exist. He created this whole brand, this whole thing, just as a fictitious company, an idea just for this stream.
Yeah.
And this portfolio, and to sell to future tea clients.
Yes, I need to start harvesting some tea leaves.
Yes.
Or something. Okay. Yes, I want to finish up one of these labels here, and again, we're basically making the label like a template that could work for anything. I actually already have that information there.
I heard Kevin suggesting maybe a big serif letter. I'm not sure at what point he was suggesting that, but
yeah,
I think it was when you said, I don't know what I want to put here yet.
Oh yeah, actually I think I only used, which one was it? I think this is actually the only option I'm using with any type of serif font.
I like that one a lot. I mean, it's the color choices that really stand out for me on that one.
Yeah.
And of course, my favorite logo.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about using serif fonts, but there's just something that kind of plays off this idea of simplicity and like modernism with a sans serif, obviously. We're made in Austin, Texas here.
He's saying for contrast.
Yeah. Exactly. If I was going for maybe a more sophisticated look, where detail might be a little bit more important, that's definitely something I would be considering. But for some reason, this idea of just like keep it really simple, clean is just kind of like screaming my name here. And that's kind of like what the brand is about. So yeah, I'm just, I don't know.
Couple here. Jamik992 says, love the orange and black design. He's with me on that one. And Transilians, it must be nice to be able to delete text that doesn't fit your design.
Yeah.
Our clients just keep adding more text.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that happens a lot. You know, if a client can give you the least amount of information, but enough that you have some, you know, elements to work with, I think that's ideal.
Just start charging them by the letter. They'll stop.
Yeah, there you go. Make some money.
Yeah. Okay. Type those few extra words. It's going to cost you.
Exactly. Just seeing how maybe these are just like underlined here. No, actually, I don't know if I really like that. I'm just gonna undo a lot.
Yeah, I kind of liked it. I was okay with it.
Yeah.
What about you?
It gets a little. I already have a line weight here on my little like bar dividers. I don't know if I want to add a thicker one. But yeah, and so what I've been doing basically on all of these, I have 6 potential directions here, and they're all a little bit different. And at this point, you know, like I'm kind of wrapping everything up in the next few hours. You know, I'm at this point in my process, I'm just going back and fine-tuning everything, making sure everything's in order, you know, spacing, hierarchy, just make sure everything's buttoned up. I'm gonna do the best that I can here in the amount of time that I have. But you know, in a real life situation, I would take even, a couple days just going and nitpicking everything, fine-tuning everything, make sure everything's as clean and precise as it can be before I present it to the client.
Very cool.
But, okay. Let's see. got this little...
Good day to you as well, William N.Y.
Make sure I don't forget that little guy. Doing that little sealer sticker thing again on this option. That kind of curls up on the top of the lid. So I'm using this logo. This guy. I gotta see. It's funny, like some of the toughest things about these tins are actually dealing with the back and the sides.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, do I want to just keep repeating some of the brand elements like the logo, or there's probably a cool opportunity to make adding shapes or illustrations.
But keep in mind, it is the minimalist
exactly
tea company.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Doesn't need a bunch.
That's right. And I think that's the beauty of this at the very end. If you were to hold this in your hand and just seeing these really simple shapes and layouts, how does that make you feel when you're holding it in real life? I think there's something cool about it.
Yeah.
You don't always have to, for example, you don't always have to blow up a logo to make it feel like you have to fill the space up. Sometimes just having something small right in the middle is just enough and has a really nice, simple look and feel to it. Especially when you see it all together in context like this. I'd like to do something possibly for the back.
James J. Tell Duncan, congratulations on the wedding. I probably won't make it, but thanks for the invite. Busy time of year with Max coming up.
So I was also thinking...
Oh, it's in March next year. Oh, well, you never know.
Nice. I was also thinking there could possibly be some little like monogram type thing with just like
that's kind of cool.
Minimalist tea.
Yeah.
Just like another brand element you can play off of.
Yeah.
I have it here, like a little thing on the sticker.
I'm liking that.
I want to see if I can add maybe a little bit of information around this. Oops.
Do you have a system for type size? I always use the golden ratio to scale text up and down.
Yeah.
To create a hierarchy.
Yeah. Yeah, you can do that. I don't know. I just kind of like visually eyeball it.
Yeah.
For example, here, obviously,
and you've done it at least a couple times.
Well, yeah. It's
you're
like
good at looking at it. Yeah.
If you look at this label, for example, if you look at it as a whole, is everything balanced?
Yeah.
Is anything sticking out too much, like a sore thumb? And then obviously you got to consider what's the most important pieces of information. So obviously, like Earl Grey, like the name of the tea.
Obviously, that needs to be big.
Yeah, and some of like the secondary information like this, it's not as important if you're really interested in finding out if this is like organic and caffeine free. You can read it yourself, and then this is kind of maybe like the second or third thing you see on this label as far as hierarchy, and you probably want to know how many tea bags are in.
Yeah, definitely.
Each tin here, and then obviously like the logo can be pretty important too. But
Reverb Mike says the yellow goes well with the black. I agree.
Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know, it's loud, but it works.
No, that works, especially with that little label on the side. That works perfectly.
Yeah, and it's all like, I like to look at everything and just see if everything's balanced. Like at first glance when you look at the whole picture.
And even the way you did the little monogram there with the line running through where the label joins where the top separates.
Mm-hmm.
That little attention to detail is great.
Yeah. Maybe
I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but it certainly worked.
Yeah, it's a lot of times, it's just trying out things and see if they're gonna work. But I wanna make some type of like little lockup thing here with this MT.
And Chad says, do you typically use 2 to 3 different fonts for a project? I noticed the font for the logo lockup is different than the font being used for the copy.
Mm-hmm. Again, this is kind of the mood that you want to convey. I've seen a lot of projects. I've used a couple projects myself where I just use one font. You have to be really intentional about that and make sure everything's consistent, because there's something nice that can happen with that. But there's also a lot of good things that can happen when you use more than one font. It adds a little bit more uniqueness, and it's a little bit more interesting because there's a little bit more going on. I would say my one advice would be not to use too many fonts, because it can get a little bit overwhelming and even a little bit confusing when you look at everything, and because it can make it a little bit harder to read. But I would say, yeah, in general, I try to use more than one font. Maybe like 2, 3.
Without creating a ransom note.
Yes, definitely.
All right, peace out, Adhocracy Show. Go meet with your accountant.
Actually, maybe it's just this.
Yeah,
I want the same.
Same balance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See, I wouldn't have thought to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll size one smaller so it's the same size. No, yeah, I just wouldn't have thought to abbreviate them like that.
Yeah, it's tricky. Like if it was, like for example, if it was like San Antonio and then Texas, where you have one that's long, really like a lot longer than the other word. If you want to try to balance something symmetrically, that's a challenge. So abbreviation can be pretty nice.
Yep.
Let's see.
So Mark's asking, how much time have you designing? So is that how long has he been designing? So how long have you been a designer?
Let's see, 7-ish, 8-ish years maybe.
Okay.
So for this project, I mean, I guess I'm spending around 6 hours total.
Yeah, well, 6 hours here for sure, but you did some sketching.
I did a little bit of work beforehand. Yeah. Ideally, you'd want a lot more time if you're dealing with a client.
It would be interesting to do one of these streams where you guys all come in cold, and we give you, like, here's what we need to pitch, or here's what we need to design, and then you guys go from there over 3 days.
Yeah, that'd
be kind of fun. What do you guys think about that? Would that make a good live stream to have them, maybe even spend like the first hour or first day walking through everything with the client, and then last 2 days they have to go design everything.
That'd be awesome.
It'd be interesting to see. And then of course we have 4 different teams working on the same job, and we see which team comes up with the best ideas.
That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, I tried to do...
Easy for me to suggest stuff like that, because I wouldn't have to do it. But
yeah, I tried to leave as much as I could, where I wasn't, doing all the work beforehand, but I obviously did a little bit. I just wanted to see what I could do and challenge myself.
Yeah. Sort of like our creative jams. We have live events where we throw out a topic, a theme, and people have to go off and design based on what they interpret the theme to be.
Yeah.
So if you want to see that live in action near you, go check out the creative jams.
Actually, I just realized I didn't put this net weight information here. I already have Austin on the sides, though. Net weight 1.13 ounces. Okay. Just making sure to see if I have a lot of the information correct in here.
Mark, we would love to review your portfolio. I might try and work that in today. Normally Paul's been doing that on his streams, but his stream is over. So I'll see if I can get some in today.
I'm gonna make this little droplet.
Droplet.
Since tea is a liquid, why not?
Well, actually, it kind of looked like a little. That's the word I'm looking for. Oh, there we go.
There we go. I'm just thinking of different possible elements I could throw in here.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't even know if it lives behind this. I don't know if this is gonna be too much. Let me get this guy up.
It's starts to become its own logo.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I don't know if I like having a huge drop there, or maybe it comes down and then gotta balance it off with something else. If I want to use this, I'm not even sure if this is going anywhere. Maybe I can write the actually make sure I got this color. Just drag it up here.
Yeah, I don't see the fun in it.
Yeah. I'm seeing if I can see the fun in this.
You love this guy, I can tell.
I do. I'm gonna take him home. Let's see how long I can last with him.
Chad's saying that droplet's making it feel like honey now.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if I don't think I need it. I think I have enough elements already. I'm gonna pull them off to the side.
I was gonna see where you were gonna go with it, but that was my first thought when you first put the droplet in. It's like, do you really need it?
Gosh, yeah, no. It's like a. So this is the back.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if these are on the sides, if this makes as much sense, or since I've already used an option that has these on the sides, I was actually thinking I could put these on both sides and I could just like leave this blank on the back.
That works too.
You know, it's like if you put these on a shelf, you know, you're not even gonna really see the back.
Right.
Yeah, you could convince your client you'd save them a little bit of printing money because you don't have to print on that side. So actually, I might just leave that blank for now. Maybe I blow this up just a little bit bigger, and I'm gonna. So
put those on the sides.
Yeah.
And leave the back blank.
Yeah, I've already done an option. Actually, I've already done an option with those.
There's a suggestion from Chad that maybe a small leaf.
Yeah, I was also thinking that as well. That would be a good suggestion. I might actually try that for another option that I'm gonna try to blow out today.
Place the M on the drop.
Mm-hmm. Those are all good suggestions. Maybe these turn yellow so I can have more color indicators here.
I think yellow works better.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
And what I'm gonna do at the very end, since the front's the most important part, I'm gonna line up probably just the fronts together. Okay. And I'll probably try to post somewhere where it has like all the sides to it too, but you know, the first thing that you see is going to be the front, which is the most important. These are all just like nice detail elements to make it, you know, elevate it, make it a little bit better. I'll throw this guy back on the top here. Fortunately, I have a theme that allows me to do a lot of this simple layout. You know, there's you know, situations where you might deal with a lot of illustration work, or you know, lots of information that might require you to add a lot of elements to the packaging. But
well, Gus and Victoria say, "Sweet design, Steve. Awesome design."
Oh, thanks, guys. Yeah, if you guys
nothing but love.
If you guys have suggestions, I'm all ears too. So.
Oh, they're suggesting them. Shouting them out.
Good.
Small leaf. Hey.
Yeah. I want to do a leaf thing on that option up there, I think. Although I want to blow these out.
And so it's my job to keep reminding you, minimalist.
Exactly.
Doesn't have to be a lot.
Mm-hmm. It's easy as a designer to want to do.
To want to put more on there.
Yeah, and you know, at some point, you know, you gotta be like, okay, this is enough. Stop and think about, you know, why you're doing the things that you're doing.
Yeah. Because as it stands right now, it totally rocks. So it doesn't need anything.
And there's, you know, it's hard to tell on screen, but you know, when you hold something or see something in real life, there's just something really cool and tactile about it that changes the design. That you don't, you know, you can't really understand right now, but you kind of got to picture it and think about those things as you design. I'm gonna shrink him a little bit. I might have to shrink the first one too if I'm gonna do this.
And for all of you interested in sketching and illustration work, be sure to follow Victoria Pavlov. I see her in the chat. She's got an awesome YouTube channel where she's giving instruction and showing off how to do cool things on both desktop and iPad and mobile, using both Photoshop Illustrator and Illustrator Draw and Photoshop Sketch and brushes and all kinds of cool things. So be sure to check out, you can just click her name and follow her YouTube channel.
So I'm gonna pick some shapes that, instead of using a triangle, I'm gonna pick some shapes that actually let me
And
keep
our
the
awesome moderator extraordinaire is in the house. Hey Gus, what's up?
Something like that, and then if this is for the green tea, pick a nice green color. I want to make sure that the information is still legible if I'm gonna use black on top of it.
It turned away. That used to be what color?
That was yellow.
That was yellow, now it's green. Oh, don't take the yellow away, just make a green one.
Yep, exactly. I still got green.
Good. All right.
So one issue that we had with the one that you like the most, where is this guy? This one. Someone mentioned Monster Energy.
Right.
Which I can see.
I can see it, but
yeah, I think there's definitely a difference.
There's definitely a difference, and as long as they're not next to each other on the shelf, it won't matter.
Yeah, but something like this that I think it was just using like that green on the black.
Yeah.
Which is what that's what Monster has anyways.
Okay.
So I think this definitely steers it clear from that.
All right, and Kevin's asking, how do you add meaning to the designs and explain it to your clients?
That's a really, really good question. So what I do when I'm done with all of my options, I put everything into a presentation. I'd get into InDesign, put all the designs in there, save it as a PDF, send it to the client. But I also include descriptions, and I talk my clients through what I was thinking and why I was making the things. And if you can add that information to your design, other than just showing them what you made without context or explanation, you're way more likely to sell the design. So, if I was going to explain this, I'd be like, look, this company is all about minimalism. You want less things in your life. You want something modern, clean, even something that appeals to someone with like a high sense of art, or someone that likes design. So obviously this could be an option because we're just dealing with simple shapes as differentiators. If you were to pair this option next to this option on a shelf, like, you can see the system really easily, super simple. You can even get into research if you want, but yeah, it's definitely important to think about your reasonings as you design, so when you present them, you can actually explain them to the client. So
cool.
Definitely. Okay. Oops.
I hate when I do that.
I know, right? Oh, that's grouped.
You knew what I meant.
Now let's do this. Okay. So that's kind of looking kind of cool. With the green on the black.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm with you. There's something cool about a black can or tin that just makes it look really nice.
Yeah, it stands out.
And then,
because every other label's trying to be colorful and all of the above, and this just makes it elegant.
And I did some, as I was doing this, I researched other tea packagings, or tea packaging, and there was a lot of like craft paper bags and packages that try to feel really organic or like foodie and fresh, like that world. So I wanted to do something that was really modern and a little bit different in that regard.
Hugo says it looks super cool, Steve.
Awesome, thanks, Hugo. I need one more color to fit this little trio here. Actually, I haven't really used a red color yet.
Oh, that's interesting. Nay's saying, in my experience, I've always had a producer and a client Sitting on the back, seeing me create visual effects for commercials, they would give me feedback in real time, which helps. And I can see that. I could see that as a positive if they're good at it.
Mm-hmm.
I can see it as a distraction if they're not good at it. Like they hired, in the case of a design, they hired him to be the designer. So do you want non-designers giving you that feedback while you're designing?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I guess, like I said, it could work depending on the client.
Mm-hmm.
And it could also be just a distraction if the client's not good at it.
And like to add to that, I would say like it's good to hear different, perspectives and opinions, even if they're not designers. But then you have to digest that feedback or information, and in your head be like, okay, can I see value in this advice? Or, do I know as a designer that's not going to work, and, here's why. But, sometimes they can give advice.
That's what I said. It totally depends on the client.
Yeah, exactly. You just got to filter through their feedback information, and see if it's going to work. Or you could just try their suggestions and then, like, okay, this actually will work, or no, this won't work. But yeah. Okay. So, I need to pick one more shape. I have a circle and a diamond.
All right. So one question Anthony's asking: the black on the black text on the green label is kind of hard to read. Why not white?
Could do white. You know what? Well, actually, so what I was thinking, I don't know why I've been doing this, but I was like, do I use another color for green tea that's not green? I don't know. Like, I do think it'd be weird if it was like
orange.
At the end of the day, it's probably fine, but there's also some instances where it just makes sense to use a color.
And this is one of those, I agree. If it's green tea, I'm going to expect to see some green somewhere.
Yeah,
because not that I expect to see it. Let me rephrase that. It'll help me find it faster.
Yep.
On the shelf. Oh, yes. The green must be the green tea. Let me head there.
Yeah. So if
it's some other color, now I have to either figure out what that color is, and by reading every single one, until I get used to what that color is going to be.
Exactly. And I think I would get confused if I was reaching for green tea like on the shelf. If it's like my favorite tea, like, oh yeah, I got to get the blue one for the green tea. And then you bring up like, this is the right one.
And then the other problem is you run the risk of customers not seeing green and saying, oh, they don't make green tea.
Yes.
Or they don't have it.
I just brighten this green up a tad.
So, but you could. It still doesn't mean that you couldn't use white as the type.
Yeah.
But I do.
Yeah,
agree.
You could.
I do agree. Keep the green color.
Yeah, I wanted to do an option that just was black on the color, just to add a little variety here. I do need to think of one more shape. So I'm using symmetrical shapes. Kind of basic shapes here. The triangle was a little tricky. Maybe it's like a little more of like a rectangle type shape. It's not quite. I don't know if I like the square.
No, square looks too minimal.
Yes. Yeah, so the diamond has some energy. The circle obviously works. I tried the triangle. I'm going to just kind of mess around with some shapes here. Thinking of like, let's use the shape tool. Maybe I do a polygon. I don't know. Let's try it.
All right. You usually convince me, so we'll see.
We'll see what happens. It might not work. I'm trying to think of a shape that will let me leave the logo where it is for the other shapes as well.
You got a suggestion? Maybe connect it to one big label?
Yeah. I was thinking that. I wanted a different option that kind of... Since I have some that are just like big labels that
or have you considered maybe like a leaf or something that wraps around?
Yeah.
So it becomes the background for a lot of things, that like the things on the side and so forth and so on.
Yeah. Yeah, so normally my process, gosh, I'm showing, let's see, I have 6 options here. Sorry, this is really far away. I have 6 options here. I like to execute, gosh, even up to 10 or 15 just for myself. So I know what's going to work and what's not. So I would probably, get to some of those executions. I'm gonna try that for now. I don't know if I'm completely in love with it, but I'm gonna come back to this option.
Okay.
I think.
Between the 3, I like the diamond the best.
I do too. I want to see if I can get a triangle to work, but I might have to rethink this logo in here.
You might be able to get an upside down triangle to work.
Yeah,
Where it's like pointing down into the other label.
That's kind of interesting, actually. Well, I better do this now before I forget.
Score 1 for the hovering art director.
Yes. Here, let's see. I'm like trying to think of like basic shapes. Do a square. Take a point out.
And move it. Yep. There you go.
I'm just gonna do this really quick and then make sure everything's correct.
Yeah.
I need to send
I like
these
that.
guys. It's kind of there. I'm trying to think actually how high are these going? Yeah, those go almost all the way to the top, don't they? I don't know. I'm gonna rethink this one. I gotta think of some more shapes here, but it's in a decent place right now. There's some fine tuning I need to do. I want to completely switch brains here. I do this a lot where when I get an idea as I'm working, I might just like jump ship and try to execute another option. If something's like based off of how I feel here.
And Munabi Rosellis is saying they had the exact opposite experience. Had a client on the side of them that didn't really know what they wanted and gave lots of orders from 4 p.m. to 1 a.m. The worst of his life, or her life.
I'm so sorry. I feel your pain.
Yeah, so I'm leaning more towards not having them on the side.
Yeah.
I'd rather give them constant things to look at and have them give me feedback and I go off and do it than having them interject for everything I move or change.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And again, but you could have somebody that totally gets it and they're good at it, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't take that risk.
Exactly. Yes, that's a good idea.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
I like where that went from the from the original.
Yeah. So it's got like
move it down just a little bit so I can see the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is like super modern, very bold. It has the minimal qualities to it, which I like. It has this square that can change out to different colors. You could even mess around with some of these secondary shapes with different colors. But I'm liking how this logo can be integrated into like these patterns here. Mm-hmm. I think it's kind of interesting, and it really fills up the label.
Now, and you probably sensed this from the beginning. I wasn't a fan of the bold logo. Like I liked all the other ones more. But in this use, I like it.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I was saying earlier about seeing the logo with everything else in context.
Agreed.
It's amazing, how things tend to change and look. So I'm just trying to see where I can add. Oops. Maybe I'll just make this gray.
Yeah, it was something about the bold and minimalist. It just didn't feel minimal. It
Yeah.
felt very like too much logo
What's the
for a
opposite of
minimalist
minimalist?
company.
Maximalist?
Yes,
I don't know.
maximalist. That's it.
Yeah. The minute this gets produced, I'll be the Maximalist tea company.
Reverb Mike says the grid helps.
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, I agree. It's like seeing it on that, it makes me feel better about it.
Yeah, so what also works with this design is that it's really based off of a grid. So, like the flavor notes lines up to the top of this gray box. Just like the size relationship of all of these squares kind of makes everything a little bit more balanced. I think there's something nice about that. Actually, I'm going to bring these back onto one line.
And the question is, everything was created in Illustrator? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I watched him do it for 3 straight days.
Yep.
From scratch.
So I like Illustrator a lot.
And you got one other person saying, oh, I feel the logo's, big and heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, it definitely is by itself. It's making me feel better on this packaging, but it would not be my first choice.
Yeah.
I like the other ones better.
So what I'm doing, because I'm doing 6 options, I want to make sure that there's some variety. Like, here's the same logo, but
smaller. Yeah.
super, nice and small here.
Love that.
Kind of a balanced middle ground here.
Right. And love that.
This is, kind of the same size relationship. I haven't gotten very far on this. I'm trying to think if I can do some possible, like, maybe more illustration work on these. Or
I'm
patterns.
reserving judgment on that one, too.
Yeah.
To get further along.
It's not my favorite yet.
Yeah.
And this is another option that's small. So I at least wanted to try something that...
Big and bold.
Mm-hmm.
Because you never know what they might want. Yeah.
I mean, if anything, it definitely pops off the shelf there, which is, I think it's cool. But
for that older, harder to see crowd.
Yeah, exactly. So I also had this idea. I'm gonna see if this is gonna work or not. On the back, just using a really big letter to help differentiate.
Oh, for like Earl Grey.
Mm-hmm. Then like you see a big G for the green tea.
Now, as long as no 2 flavors have the same letter, you're fine.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm. But then...
Oh, you could always use color.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what I would do.
The green, you know.
Yep.
G is for the green tea, and the orange G is for something else.
Exactly. So I'm going to do...
All right, Raspberry Creative says, what I find with minimalism is that sometimes big and bold elements are sometimes helpful to pad out that unwanted white or unused space that may just be tough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point.
Good point.
I like that. It's like if something's intentional and you can kind of explain why you're doing things. In this instance, I wanted to integrate this logo into kind of like the pattern and kind of blend everything together so they can live in this like connected unit. That was my reason. I was also thinking the logo could be cool that big because it's pretty abstract in a way. You could almost see just like 3 triangles, and then when you see the M, you're like, I get it. Like there's an M in there, which is cool. So it's not like this really big, loud, obnoxious, intricate logo that's really big. Like some of the other logos that I made, I think if I made them too big, it would be a little too much.
Yeah.
But I think that's the beauty of doing abstract things too. Just want to see if I need to throw this.
All right, you got a vote of confidence for the big E.
Nice. It's like I also think about my own experiences when I design things. Like for me, I am like completely blind when I go to the grocery store. Like I can never find anything on the shelf.
All right, now I get it.
So like when my wife's like, you need to pick up this, I'm like looking for 30 minutes finding it. So, I would appreciate something like this
Got
if it
it.
was in the store.
It all comes back to the designer.
Yeah. But like, I really like how I like how IKEA does stuff.
Uh-huh.
It's really easy to read and really simple.
Hey, there's something to be said for that.
Yeah.
I want in and out. I don't want to have to search around for the product.
Yeah. But at the same time, if I was gonna buy something at a really expensive store, or buy something that like fit more of like a sophisticated nature, I'd want the package to reflect that. So I felt like I was getting something a little bit more. Yeah. So there's a lot of factors to consider when you're.
Is that the same blue?
Yeah, it actually is. I know.
It just looks more.
Yeah.
Purple. No,
Yeah.
I mean for the E from that versus the one on the left.
Oh.
Those are the same?
Here, let's see.
Yeah, okay.
I think it's a visual thing.
Yeah, well, yeah, they are now.
Yeah, I think they were.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's because you're seeing it touch the black.
Yeah, could be.
Then you also have the white.
Yeah,
and the
even
gray.
now it still looks like the
I
one on
know.
the right looks a little bit more
Yeah,
purple.
it's kind of funny. Yeah, then even
Visual
like this.
effects.
Yep, this gray might be influencing how that
Using
color.
one color to have a multicolored job.
Yep, exactly. Okay, I'm saving too.
Yeah, save.
Try to make that a good habit. Maybe we add the flavor descriptions on the side here too. Oops, don't want to print. Okay. Almost reminds me of like the periodic table.
What's the and someone said use mnemonics earlier. I think it was Evil Cerise.
Oh yeah.
What's the longest project you ever worked on? Like, it just took a long time.
I recently actually just wrapped up a hotel branding project, which I'm hoping to get documented and put that online soon. But because there were so many components, like a hotel, for example, the logo, the signage, the key cards, the business cards, postcards, we did apparel for them. We did all of these small components that all added up into that project. And that was, almost a year.
Wow. Okay,
Yep.
I didn't expect you to say that long.
Yeah, so, and it was because there was a lot of things to take into consideration. We wanted to do it right. And fortunately, I had a great client that understood that good design can, it shouldn't be rushed.
Now, at that time when you were working on this year-long project, I'm going to assume you were still doing other projects.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so rarely do I ever do just one project at a time. Usually always juggling a few projects at the same time, so. But yeah, I was really happy.
So you have other projects like kind of paying the bills while you're waiting on the big payday from the big one. Yeah.
Yeah, or if a job comes in and it's a potentially really good project, I'm obviously gonna take that on as well while I'm working on other projects. So.
Kevin's asking, will you finish it today?
I finished this today?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean,
You got like about an hour left. Hour
Yeah.
and 5 minutes.
And again, I'm gonna, at the end of this, I'm gonna post all of this somewhere. Behance.
Yep.
And you guys can kind of take a look at it. And I also want to try to like post my brief on there. And
Let me see if I can find your Behance link so I can put it in the
yeah,
chat there.
maybe even a few things on social media. Maybe, I don't know if I want to get it.
Are you just Steve Wolf?
Yeah. Yes. That's the back.
Oops, can't find that page. Okay. Let's see if I can find you this way. There you are.
There we go.
Found you. Wolf Steve.
Yeah, Wolf Steve. There we go. So maybe on the sides here, I'm gonna try some type of like leaf element here.
I don't know what. Maybe it's just because it's the letter E, but every time I see that E, I think eye chart.
Yeah.
Because it's an
E. Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, if I put all the alphabet underneath that. Here, I want to use that same blue color.
Just don't spill the tea.
Yes.
Why is the left leaf so angry? Which left leaf?
Oh.
I must have missed it.
I think it was this one. Was it this one? Or I don't know.
Yeah.
If there's an angry leaf somewhere, we don't want him. Okay.
Well, good. It's working. The stream makes you want to buy fresh tea.
Nice. Yeah, it's funny. I actually drink a lot of coffee, and I've been trying to drink a little bit more tea.
And I'm the opposite.
And,
I rarely drink coffee. If I'm drinking anything hot, it's tea.
Oh yeah, good. It's pretty good for you.
Can we do burger designs next?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good one.
I like that.
Let's just plan out a menu here.
Yes.
We'll design all the food elements.
There we go. Still like that Satan tea comment.
Yeah, that was. I knew you would think about it.
Yeah, I was like, Lisa Sleepover was like, Satan's tea.
Satan's brand.
I don't know why it's so funny, but it's good.
Because you could that would just blow people away. You would picture that, and it would cause such a controversy.
It would.
It'd be like an instant hit.
It probably would be.
Yeah.
If you think about it. Just do something.
Drink Satan's tea.
Yeah, just do something ridiculous. That's good. Okay. Just trying to mess around with some type of leaf shape. I want to add some information on it, maybe around it, so it's not just a leaf. I'm also thinking, since this is kind of a line art style and I have these really bold shapes, I'm also trying to think if that's the best way to do this. I actually have another idea. I mean, that technically works, but I don't know if I want to bring in one more, like, since everything's so thick and bold here, I don't know if the line art is too delicate. Or actually, maybe I could just try a really thick line weight here.
Or if it was filled in. Thick line weight's working.
Yeah, I'm gonna see how thick we can make this without it getting illegible here. I'm gonna have to tweak a little bit of the spacing. Oops.
Mads D not digging the blue color.
Yeah?
So it's less attractive.
Nice.
The other colors were so spot on though, so I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a total fan of this blue, but I'm waiting to see where he goes with it. I wasn't a total fan of the big logo either, but now I'm liking it.
Yeah, it's tricky because for all of these options, I'm trying to think of 3 colors, and how they're gonna work together. I don't even know if it's. And this one's like a little bit more modern, so I want to kind of stick with that.
Yeah, there was a teal blue there. That was kind of cool. You cycle through for a second.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting too. Yeah.
That's a better blue.
Here, let's try this one.
Yeah. That's a better blue.
Yeah, it's a little bit easier on the eyes. This one's really saturated. Then I'll pick some the other colors. I'll try to get into that same kind of value here. Yeah, I like that.
All right, definitely easier on the eyes.
Yes, I agree. Good call. Yeah, so I'm just seeing I'm just kind of visualizing, do I want to do some type of pattern? I think I still need, I have an idea where I could actually bring the, that droplet back. I got an idea. Where'd I put that guy? I think he's down here. There he is. So I'm just kind of playing around with, maybe it's telling the story of how, you start with the tea leaf and then
ends up being liquid.
Ends up being liquid, and there's some type of divider in the middle.
All right, Kevin wants to see if you can design around one corner edge of the packaging.
Yes, that is a good idea.
He's patiently asking it twice.
I will do it after this, I promise. That will be my next one. I was also thinking about that too.
All right, now people are giving hexadecimal codes for color. So, Steve, how do you feel about 3 black?
3 3 3 3.
Yeah, all threes.
All three?
6 threes.
Yeah, hold on. I want to see what that is.
Let's see what that looks like.
3 3 3 3 3 3.
Yep.
Yeah. It's like a dark grayish black.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I could just make it this black.
Yeah, I was gonna say zoomed out.
Yeah.
It just looks black. Yeah.
Well, let's just make it black.
No.
You know what?
Yeah, I like the blue better.
And I don't like this. Hold on. I'm not
Let's
sold
make
on
that
this. Maybe I only need two things. Two little leaf sprig things. Veins. Actually, I don't know why I'm just thinking let's make this simpler here. I might just fill this in. Maybe this is filled. Unless maybe I make the
I like the T with the line, or the leaf with the lines better than
Yeah?
filled in.
yeah.
But the drop, I could go either way.
Yeah, I wonder if one's filled. Maybe this
That's what I
one's
said. I can
filled.
go either way with the drop, and
Yeah, that's
but
kind
I
of
kind
cool.
of like the branches of the leaf.
Yeah, you're right. Here, let's get it back. I'm gonna fill this one. Maybe there's a little bit more contrast this way. I'm gonna make them a little bit bigger.
Maybe take it down a point size or two for the thickness.
Yeah.
'Cause I know you were trying to balance it against the logo before, but
Yeah, I think this still works.
yep.
I mean, if you think about it, the type is, a lot thinner, and
Mhm.
you can make a case that it still matches.
Yeah, no, just a couple points like you did. That's fine.
Mhm.
That's better.
Yeah, I think something like this is cool.
I definitely like the drop filled in.
Yeah. So, and this is just like a little side element detail thing here, so yeah. I think it's kind of interesting because this is so simple and bold, and you get some of these little like accent pieces that tell a little bit more of the story. I think that's kind of nice.
And just for giggles, can we see it in blue, like the other blue?
Oh, these
yeah,
things?
these in blue. Yeah. Let's see what just see what it looks like.
Here, let's make this easier here. That could be cool in blue.
Yeah, either way.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be happy with either one.
Let's see. Maybe if I use something that's black on the top, I think that might tie everything in a little bit better. Right now I got a lot of blue on the sides and the back, and
Or maybe change the separator line to black and keep the rest blue or something like that.
yeah. Actually, I kind of like this. I'm liking this.
Gray.
Maybe it's just one more element on the bottom. I want to keep everything really simple, but
Or change the separator lines to that gray.
yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool too. Yeah, I want to add something that's black. Actually, I can just use maybe the logo type again.
Is there a difference between black and register black? That probably makes more sense.
Yeah, I always like to design with a really rich black, as dark as I can get it, because I don't know, I just think that contrast is nice. But there's instances where you might not want such a rich black. Obviously, printing can be something you need to consider as well.
All right, got some other suggestions here. So Kevin says, use shape around the drop plus handle.
We actually could do like tea leaf to drop to like mug or something, or cup.
And Reverb Mike is saying use a filled leaf with the white branches. That's a possibility.
Here, since I'm using the same one, I'm gonna I probably shouldn't have outlined this, huh? That's actually pretty. Yeah, so I'm just kind of telling the story of the process of tea, how it's made. I'm gonna do like a little cup. I'm gonna need to match that thickness here. I gotta think about that, like the little handle on the side.
Yeah, because without the handle, it's a bowl.
Yep.
Raspberry Creative, or Raspberry Creative. Sorry, it's getting late in the day. It is definitely for fun. This is a concept that he created from scratch just for the strip. So, not a real company.
No, unless anybody wants to go in on me and knows how to make tea.
But see, that's the thing though, when he finishes these, he could go after a tea brand, and this would be an example in his portfolio.
Yeah, I mean, and like for everyone out there, if you want to get into a niche or do more of something, I mean, design something that's not even real and then put it out there.
Yeah, people used to ask me all the time, how do I get started doing blank? And I would just say, start doing blank.
Yep.
That's how you get started, is to actually start doing it.
Exactly. There's no harm in doing it.
When it comes to brain surgery, a few more steps before that.
True,
but other than that,
true.
Just start doing it.
Yes. Let's get space these out a little bit more. Just trying to find a balance here.
All right, you got some thumbs up for the little raised handle.
Nice. Yeah, like you can even see the difference here.
Yeah.
The comparison. I mean, I think both would work at the end of the day, but
Yeah, I'm liking the new one better.
Yeah, this is kind of explaining things a little bit more. It's kind of fun too. Yeah, that's kind of cool. So this was like super mod bold front label here.
Now, do you ever do this where like you got these 6 different designs and then you start saying, okay, I like the side of this one better, but I like the front of this one better, and you start making a hybrid of them?
Definitely.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, like even some of these, I thought this was cool. I like the pattern of the logo.
The logo.
I mean, it's cool because if you see it from far away, you just think it's like, oh, that's just some
dots,
squares.
yeah.
But then when you get in, you're like, there's the logo. I also like this little badge I made on this first option.
Loving that.
Like I think this top of this one was kind of interesting.
Yeah,
It's
agreed.
just kind of classy. You know, even getting into like more secondary elements of like a little monogram.
They're all so. I mean, I'm just thinking about this. I watched you do these so quickly, and they're all so different.
Yeah, and you know, if you try to do as much variety as you can, that gives you more opportunity to start combining things like that. Like, oh, I like that side better than this, and things can kind of evolve off of what you're making. So, and especially, you know, if you get a lot of time on a project, which you should be, you know, you can start evolving things even more and thinking about how things will look with all these things that you're making. You know, start combining them.
At the end, you like the design so much you'll wish it was a real client.
Oh, nice. It's pretty fun.
Okay, the G helps. It's no longer an eye chart.
Yes, no more eye.
Yes.
No more eye. We're also going to get into some green here.
There was a shade of green. I can't remember when you did it, but it was like the perfect green.
Oh, yeah? Let's see. It's a little... I think I want to add
traditional.
I want a little bit more blue into it. Actually, but I'm using blue. I don't want it to get too blue.
Someone said, Raspberry Creative just said, notice how smooth the gradient metallics look.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you know, if you can get an actual photo, we kind of talked about this too.
Yeah.
You know, if you can get an actual photo or mock-ups like we had through Adobe Stock, I think that really helps visualize everything, and it'll help the client visualize everything for sure. Just kind of makes it all come to life.
My tea looks nowhere near this fancy. Transylin.
It's always fun seeing when you do one kind of template, seeing everything change colors all the time. I think it's kind of fun. So you can start seeing, you know, here's our blue.
All right, without giving us the name, describe like your project from hell.
Oh.
And why was it the project from hell?
Oh, one that I've actually done?
Yeah. Or have you had any?
You know, gosh, I probably had a lot. Like when I first started out.
What made them bad?
What made them bad was me not covering all my bases before I started. So like I didn't, you know, set how many revisions I was gonna do, or gosh,
very important.
Yeah, it's
if
like
you leave it open, they're just gonna keep coming back, wanting more revisions.
Asking for a deposit before you start.
Getting burned. Financially.
Yes, that is the absolute worst thing that happened to me when I was first starting out, and so.
Oh, did you say this was a charge job? Oh, I didn't know you were charging me for this.
Yeah, and you know, I've had some instances where, you know, everything starts to go smooth right in the beginning, but even like a couple days into it, the client just completely changes, and it was things that I probably should have been looking for like through email. Like there were some hints where I'm like, well, why is he demanding these things? Or like, this is kind of a little bit off. Why is he doing this? And, you know, I just kind of went along with it instead of me like, you know, putting my fist. I'm like, okay, like this isn't right. Like we need to do this, and
so
kind of letting the client run everything basically.
In addition to, I mean, we talked about this yesterday and you confirmed it again today, definitely get the deposit. Do you have like a contract?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
That stipulates what you will and won't do.
Yep.
And if they want more, it costs more.
Exactly.
Got it.
Yeah, if you can set all that up, actually, and if you don't have one, I know AIGA has a good starting contract you can use online. But yeah, like just right in there, you know, 50% up front, or at least get, you know, if they can't do 50, try 40, you know, get some deposit up front, and say, I'm not going to start until you pay me.
And if they can't get it, then that makes you question
the
viability of the contract, unless it's a nonprofit or something.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, if they're serious about it, they're gonna pay. But I mean, if they don't and you keep working, you're definitely gonna run the risk of them just kind of running all over you and leaving, taking your money.
And was there ever a situation where you said no to a job?
Oh yeah, all the time.
And for what reasons?
Maybe the values don't align with mine. Maybe my schedule's too full. Maybe I don't see the potential, like if it's a super low budget, or it's just not something I'm even interested in.
Okay.
But there is something to be said. I think saying no is a skill. If you say yes to everything, you can get overwhelmed, and then you got to do everything for your plate's too crowded there. But I would say do things that you're passionate about that you could possibly use in your portfolio. If the client's really cool, factor that in. There's a lot of things that you need to think about before you just say yes to a job. Obviously, when you're first starting out, you might take some more projects on.
Yes, more often.
Yeah, but eventually, the longer you design, you can get a little bit more intentional about who you're working with or what kind of projects you're working on.
That's not finished, is it?
Not yet.
It's not.
It's getting there. Okay. Yeah. I'm really liking this option as like my really modern option.
This is a good question. It's probably stipulated in the terms of your contract, but just out of curiosity. What if a customer isn't satisfied, maybe abandons the project halfway through? Do they get their deposit back or not pay the full amount? I don't think anyone gets a deposit back unless it's you giving it back for a reason.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's a risk that technically the client's taking to work with someone.
Right.
There's also, if the client is just horrible and you've been good on your end, you can also in your contract come up with like a kill fee and say, look, if you're gonna back out, like this kill fee means you owe me X amount of dollars. So that kind of covers your bases a little bit. But yeah, sometimes you might not agree during a project and someone wants to leave. So you shouldn't have to give up your deposit though. I think that's just something that should always just be paid. You won't have to ever return, so which is good.
Non-refundable
Yes,
deposits.
definitely.
And I agree, Nay. Always be truthful about what you can and can't do. Never promise anything you can't deliver.
Definitely.
Make that clear on the contract. Yep. And that gets back into not taking jobs just because you need a job when you're overwhelmed taking jobs. So now all of a sudden you're in a situation where you can't finish because you just literally don't have the time.
Exactly.
Incremental payments work too. Where especially for longer term projects where you have a payment schedule and deliverables based on certain dates.
It's funny, I think something that would be really fun is trading services for just a few maybe niche projects. So like, hey, do a tea thing for a company, you get free tea for life. I don't know. In exchange, I've had some
only
friends.
for an established company that will be around for life.
That's also true. Yeah,
not a startup.
You definitely need to be smart about it. But I had a friend do a barbershop branding project, and he gets free haircuts whenever he wants.
Yeah, that could work.
You never know.
Yeah.
It's almost like the old days.
Okay, Delta, if you're listening, I'll do anything you want for free upgrades anytime I get on one of your planes. All right, you got it.
First class, baby.
First class upgrades. You can have all the designs and photography you want.
That's right.
All right.
So this,
what are your thoughts on spec work, like these contests that go around and bidding projects? Ryan's asking that.
Ooh, well, I have done some type of spec work, but it was paid work. And like, so for example, it was like for a pitch for a company.
Okay.
So I was competing with other agencies or designers, and but I knew going into it I was going to get paid for that work. I would never do spec work or contest work where I wouldn't get paid for it. I think that can devalue, a designer, and
not to mention the time.
The time, because if everyone starts to think that way, well then all designers are going to be designing for free at the end of the day, and we need to charge what we're worth, because we bring a lot of value to companies. So,
All right, James did a local grill logo, and every time he went in, he got free lunches. Best job ever.
heck yeah.
Hey, there you go.
That's awesome.
What about a retainer? I was offered to work on retainer. I always worked on flat fees with a percentage up front.
Yeah.
Well, it depends. Depends on the terms, depends on the client, depends on if you feel comfortable doing it that way.
Yep.
At the end of the day, it is all up to you.
Exactly.
Chad says no spec.
No. So I'm working on a corner deal here, like a corner label. I'm gonna show, instead of just showing like front back sides, I'm gonna show like how this would wrap, kind of like, I might actually do this later. Maybe I'll do like a corner 3D view and like show you how it would wrap. But
right.
You're actually gonna need to see it at a front angle too.
Right, and that's where again Project Felix comes in for something like that, where you can take that label and wrap it around the can and turn it so you'd be able to see it at an angle.
Yep, that's pretty cool. I'm just gonna use, well, you know what? I actually haven't used our leaf logo in a while.
My favorite.
Let's bring him back. Yeah, so I'm gonna see how I'm gonna incorporate this logo. I'm using the black tin still. Yeah, I don't know if he lives there by himself. I'm gonna use a different color than yellow.
All right, here's a very direct question. Chad's asking, how much would you charge for a t-shirt design like the one you did on Skillshare?
Yes, so this also depends on the client, if they have a budget. For me, I would have been charging maybe around anywhere from $600 to $1,000 for the shirt design, but that depends on the client's budget. This also depends on how long you've been designing. If you can prove that you've been charging this amount of money for other clients, you can help sell and convince your clients to give you that amount. It can be really hard. Like, I know for me, when I first started out, I wasn't charging that much for a t-shirt design because I didn't really have any value to back it up. I wasn't proven yet. But I would also say, don't undersell yourself and don't charge $10 for it. I would say charge what you think you're worth. I think that's something that's important.
And that's important because I remember a time where it wasn't, someone wanted to pay me to rent like my studio for a day. And their philosophy was, hey, we're going to offer you so little money because you weren't renting it that day anyway, and it was going to be empty. So something's better than nothing. And I said, no. You're right. I could have taken something over nothing, and I didn't have a client to rent it that day. But I wasn't going to undervalue it down so low to where, it'd be like it's almost like, some money's usually better than no money, but not in that case. Not if it's so low that it just ruins the reputation, ruins your value of your business or your skills. So I declined it. I just said, I'd rather it be empty today than take so little.
Yep. And if someone comes to you and says, look, I only have $20 to design a t-shirt,
that's different. They have the attitude of, we can give you less.
Yes.
Because you don't have a client that day.
Or if they're offering that low of a price, they're probably going to be a headache for everything.
Exactly.
They're probably
exactly. And I would have had to be there all day, by the way. And they want to use equipment and things like that. So no, it just wasn't worth it. I'd rather it be empty and not make money that day.
It's like, how much is your time worth, Okay.
Absolutely, Nay, I agree. Yeah, like a hot hotel room on hot wire. Nope, it'll just stay empty. And it was more of, it wasn't so much the money, it was the attitude. It was the Hey, we can give you peanuts because, you weren't going to make any money that day anyway on it.
Yep.
No, it doesn't work that way. Sorry. I wish it did. Hey, your hotel room's empty. I'll give you $1. $1 a night.
Exactly.
Somehow I don't think they'll take it. They'd rather it be empty.
Yes. Try some more, maybe like some more pastel-y colors again.
Pretty cool. I'm liking where that's going.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to wrap my mind around this wrapped corner label here. Getting there.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's interesting, how you got to think about three-dimensionality here, like all the sides. How will things look as a whole? This is the corner here.
Now Kevin's challenging you. Can you build a corner view quick? You got skills.
Oh gosh,
Yeah.
on the spot. Oh, I got what
Dude,
I got.
that's up to you.
I got 30 minutes or 40 minutes.
You got 40 minutes left, so don't think you have to do everything in the chat.
Kevin. I will see what I have. After this is done, I'll see if I can get one made for this.
And Reverb Mike, you're right. Yeah, I could make money on it working myself, or I could just have that time off and be not in the studio.
Yeah.
So no, I just declined it. Nope.
Yep. Nice.
Sorry.
I'm gonna get this information up here.
And it wasn't because they didn't come to me saying, "Hey, we don't have that much money. We're on a budget." It was the attitude of, "We're just gonna pay you less."
Nope.
Not today.
Nope. Actually, I got an idea. Maybe.
Hey, Nancy.
Maybe he lives over there. He's on this side. So if you're going to see the front, you might just see this, and then here's our logo mark on the other side. Let's see. Just copying out some information here.
So that's a good question. So you're picking those colors and they look great, but Chad's got a good question. Do you find Pantone colors that are close to what you want before printing, or do you have the colors you're picking are Pantone colors?
Yeah. So what I do is I want to design the best case scenario on screen first, like this. So I'm really liking this gray and this peach pink color, whatever you want to call it. I'll get a PMS book, a Pantone book, and after the fact, try to find a color that's really close on screen. So it's just finding a color in that book and trying to match it to the screen. Sometimes you might need to fidget a little bit, like, oh, that color actually doesn't really exist, but this one's really close. And then obviously, you should think about, am I going to be using Pantone colors? Do I need to? Sometimes you can digitally print stuff. It just kind of depends what you're doing, but yeah, I just try to match it after I start designing. I was trying to think of if I could actually get a serif font to work in these. Let's see. See if we can get this one a little bit more elegant.
This logo reminds me of Transformers.
Oh yeah?
I guess no, that's what Transilian's saying. More like T-formers.
That might be something that we could make. Transformer T.
I don't know, man. I think you're gonna go off and do the Satan T. I see. You can just send me a link when you get it done.
Definitely.
Satan's T.
I like that. He likes it. Well, hey,
He likes it hot.
Yeah, it's like really hot after you make it. It's awesome. Yeah, when I post these later, I know I haven't been updating all like the information for each.
Don't forget to save.
Yes, and save. I should get this spinny ball. There it is. I'm gonna update everything and show you guys kind of my final versions of everything, and along with everything else I've done in the brief and everything. Let's get make sure everything's centered.
Yeah, this week did fly by.
It did. Yeah, that's when you get into the zone of designing, man, time flies.
Well, thanks, Hugo. Appreciate the follow.
I kind of like that. The 40 is displayed here from the font.
And thanks, Miguel. Dude, it's just something about that black can.
I know.
It just...
Because I was trying to think like how many black
Like,
tea cans.
This makes me want to
there?
go start a company just so I can use this.
Yeah.
All right, my designs are done. I just have to pay them now,
That's
and
right.
I've got everything ready to go.
I'll put
All right.
a trademark little thing
Yeah.
in here. I'm just kidding.
So if you're thinking about starting the minimalist tea company, hey, he's already got you set.
Let me know. Yeah, I wanted to try something I've never done before. I've never done a tea packaging. I thought it would be kind of fun.
And it is. This, I would have, if you would have described him, oh man, come on, tea, really?
Yeah.
But seeing it, it is fun.
It's cool to like put your own twist on things and make it unique, something that's never been done before. You know, it's like I guess really you could take any genre of like food, or it doesn't even have to be food. It could be soap or beauty products, whatever. Right. Just put your own twist on it. You never know what you can come up with.
All right, Transillian, hang in there for another 30 minutes. We're almost done. I know you're tired. It's 1:30 a.m. your time.
Oh man, that's awesome.
And Jamie, I'm digging the design and colors myself. Maybe drink some tea. Caffeinated.
I think the green tea has caffeine.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know even if I need
The next stream is going to be about mobile illustration. So based on our Make It campaign, it'll be in 2 weeks, and it'll be all illustrators and painters on mobile devices.
Okay, I'm missing some of this information.
That may be true, Nay, but I can't drink my tea off my display. So there is a need still to create physical products.
Yes. So we can get these into 3.
That's cool, Kevin. All right, good question. Julian's asking, hey, Steve, any brand logo designers you admire?
Yeah. I'll actually just do some current ones that you guys could take a look at that are doing awesome work right now. Gosh, there's a lot. There's Pentagram is obviously like the biggest one. I think they're the biggest branding agency in the world. Check them out. There's a studio called Moniker. They're actually from San Francisco. Check them out, Moniker. They're amazing. They do great work here. Studio Mast in Denver, run by Travis Ledoux. Check them out. Studio Mast, they're awesome. I mean, there's a lot of, actually San Francisco has a lot of good places just being here. Hatch Design, Stout. Yeah, there's a lot of great places in San Francisco, New York. You can kind of like find other companies based off of those and like who they're following, who they're associated with. But
cool.
Those are just some of mine.
Ryan says Pentagram.
Yeah, they do a lot of work.
Oh, no, I totally agree with you. I'm definitely a fan of digital over print any day, but you got to keep in mind the stream was also more about packaging, so there's still a need for packaging. Not so much advertising, so we're actually designing packaging here more so than just printed pages. And I don't see the need for package design going away anytime soon, as long as they're physical products.
Mm-hmm. So I have this would be like the front, and then this would technically be a side. So I shouldn't have deleted that. I'll still have a back, and then I'll have one side. So I'm gonna see what how I want to fill that. Still saving.
Have you got a lot of work via Instagram? I'm not sure if you're asking him or the chat.
Well, actually, for me, it's actually been a new source of work, another outlet for work, which I didn't really have in like the last couple of years. But yeah, I've actually got some decent work out of Instagram.
Dude, I love that.
Yeah, so going back to that.
Back to that can.
Yeah. It'd be sweet to do like a matte, like a matte
finish.
Yep. Maybe it's just like really subtle on the sides.
All right. Love that.
That's kind of cool. So that would be one big side right there.
See, that logo just works so many different ways.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to use it big, but then I guess if I do it like this, it's not too loud.
No, not at all.
But it's big, so you can see it in all of its glory there. But yeah, this is actually kind of looking kind of cool. I like this direction.
Definitely rocks.
I'm gonna switch that one. Yeah, so it's interesting how this has a little bit more sophistication. I mean, I'm even using a serif font now, and then just like these grays and muted colors versus, something that's really bold and simple like this. So, at the end of the day, it would be me going through all of these options and like really studying them and figuring out,
All right. Mine, so what's your favorite of these so far?
Gosh.
Like, which one do you like the most?
Mm-hmm. It's funny. I really do like this logo too. But as far as like the overall package, like how you see everything together, I'm really liking these two top modern versions, like the really simple versions. And then I would say I want to do more of this. I might actually cheat and work on this a little bit after.
That's fine.
You're
allowed to.
Because I know you like this one.
Yes.
I think there could be something cool with this.
Yep.
I like this one.
Love
too.
that. You know what it is about this one? For me, I just keep going back to the color choices.
Mm-hmm.
Like the color on this just totally rocks.
Yeah. Yeah, I do like how this
Yeah.
this with the gray works pretty well. And then what did I use for that one? Yeah, I used like a
Yeah, all three of those.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think this would be cool. So when I post this, it'd be fun to like get your guys' thoughts and like which one you guys like. So.
Well, for me, it's the one you just left from. That's number, with my favorite colors, that'd be number 2 probably.
This one?
I don't know now. Is that number 1? Yeah, that's number 1 for me.
This one?
Yep.
Oh wow, nice.
Okay. And number 2 for me, it might be the black and orange.
Okay.
And then where you're going with this last one.
Yeah,
I'm liking that a lot.
And I need to figure out one more shape for this guy. I think there's some. I kind of like this one. I really like how this looks. Like, just a big circle. Just keep it really clean like that. And you know, if you go back to the first videos we did where I was showing on my mood board just minimalism and simplicity, this really fits that. How small the logo is inside the shape with size relationships and negative space, and the logo's modern, the colors are bright.
Question on that one. Would you see that white? Obviously you're seeing it as white, but would you also see it as maybe the color of the can? Like the metallic or aluminum?
It could be. I think I like just the white and not the actual like substrate showing through. It would be, I guess it would be, here, this is wrong, but I guess it would kind of be like shiny. It'd be something.
It would be shiny, but
I mean, it actually would work pretty cool, huh? Actually, you know what? The more I think about it, that could actually be really cool because when you would hold it, it would kind of like reflect a little bit.
See, that's why I'm liking that over the white for that big circle.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you're gonna keep it white, I might make if it were me.
Yeah.
It's not, but I make the circle smaller.
Yeah, you know what? The more I look at it, I think that could actually be pretty cool. It'd be like nice and shiny on all the packages. This was...
Yeah, so the black would kind of like wrap around it.
Yeah, exactly.
And encase it. Yeah.
I like it. I like it. I mean, it's really quick. I'll probably mock that one up later.
Okay.
With some like chrome.
Like actual chrome.
I need one more side for this. And think about the top. Before I wrap up, I'm gonna go through my sketchbook and see if there's anything.
About 20 minutes.
Okay. See if there's any more ideas in here that I could possibly add that I might have thought of that I haven't. I might use the logo. I want to do another. I haven't done too many patterns yet. Maybe if this is the back. Just adding maybe a little bit more pop of color.
Yeah, brush steel ran for it.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that.
I want to see if this will work. I don't know if it's too.
Now it's feeling cosmetic when you zoom out, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is the color too. Unless maybe I go back to this guy. Maybe I bring him in there on the bottom.
Now grayed out, I like it better.
Yeah.
But not the color. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's cool.
Actually, maybe I don't need this one either. Maybe he like fits in here somehow and
Polka dots.
yeah, I don't know. I could do diamonds. I could do.
There are little leaves.
Yeah.
Filled in leaves.
I'm gonna
Or
cheat.
drops.
I'm gonna cheat and see if I can just use the minimalist.
Yeah, see, zoomed out, it's subtle. I like it that way.
Yeah, I do too. That would be cool.
And it matches the subtlety of the big logo on the other side.
Yeah. So
back.
so this is all about balance again. So what if I'm going to use a logo this big that takes up a lot of space, how do I counter that on another side? And then also thinking about what I've already done here. It's like, it's good to look at all of the sides together and, just asking yourself, do I need more here? Do I need less here? Look at everything together like that. That helps a lot.
As Miguel said, this is minimalist.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, you always got to keep reminding yourself what the theme is and what the purpose is here. It's nice to have the flavor on the top. I'm going to try to add another element to this. I was also thinking, I wonder if I could break this logo up and maybe use just parts of like this leaf or something. Maybe there's a way that I can bring some like that logo into different patterns or little side elements.
Good question. Adam Fox, I'm sorry, is asking which design does Steve's wife like best?
Oh gosh, she's actually not even here today.
Yeah.
But I wonder if I can read her mind. She probably likes. I'm just totally guessing. Probably somewhere in this world, maybe.
Yep.
I knew.
It is the best one. That's why.
I did know she liked the leaf logo the most. I definitely knew that for a fact. I actually like to ask her a lot of questions as a design just to get feedback from her. Just a different perspective. It's kind of nice, kind of fun.
Cool. Looks like stained glass windows.
Ah, yeah. Be cool. Yeah, it's got like an abstract leaf shape, but it also like turns into other things, which is cool. Maybe there's a little holder here. I'm gonna bump these guys. Oops. I don't have my type here.
All right, I see some debate going back and forth in the chat, and I'll address it now that I had some time, a few minutes to think about it as you guys were typing back and forth. So, someone brought up, hey, would be great for these streams to be like about the tools and tutorial based, and here's how to do this, this, that, and the other. And of course, they're not. They're, in this case, or so far, they've been about the creative process. So, and Michael's walking in to hear this, so this will be good that he can. So the debate came up in the chat about, hey, it'd be great if these streams were more tutorial based and about the tools and how to do X, Y, and Z. And as I was explaining, that's not the focus. These are, as some have already stated, these are about the creative process. Now, and then I saw someone say something like to the effect of, well, they could be teaching us along the way. And no offense to our presenters, but graphic designers don't always make the best tutorial teachers. They can teach you all day long about design. That's what they're great at. But they're not in many cases using all the latest techniques and all the latest tools and all the latest keyboard shortcuts, and they use what they use. So while Steve could show you 100% every keyboard shortcut he knows by heart and uses it, that's what Steve does, and that's not necessarily everything Illustrator can do, or even the best way to use Illustrator. It's the way he uses it, which works for him, and that's great.
Yep.
So I think tutorials and the creative process, at least for now, remain separate. There could be some time in the future where we integrate them, where maybe one segment is about the tools and the other 2 segments or 3 segments about the process. That could happen. But for right now, it's the process.
There are live tutorials every Monday and Fridays on the YouTube page.
Yes, and we are doing live tutorials every Monday and Friday on the Creative Cloud YouTube channel, as well as our various Facebook pages. So if you're looking to learn how to use the tools, that's what those are for. This is the kind of stuff you don't get from any other tutorials.
Okay, as I'm wrapping up, I'm just like quickly like labeling like each option here.
Oh, you're gonna let us vote?
Yeah, I want to give it a little bit of time just to see what people are thinking here. And again, stay tuned for when I post some of this stuff. And I'm gonna try to present it in a nice way, like a nice, neat way where you can see all the options together. I might even take a little time and make sure everything's buttoned up and fancy and mocked up perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it looks like I have 6 kind of directions I'm liking here.
4.
4. Yeah, 4.
4. Don't let me sway you.
Yes.
To pick 4.
So
you can pick any 4 you want.
Here, I'm gonna close some of these here. Oh, actually, I can just turn my tools off. So this was 1, and like I mentioned earlier, so what I would do along my process is I would try to probably pare some of these down. Technically, in my client brief, I said I was going to present 3 options.
Okay.
If for some reason I felt like presenting more was more valid or there is some value in that, I would, but usually in my exploration, I would try to narrow it down to what I'm.
3.
Yeah, maybe 3 or 2 or 1, even if I really felt like this is the winner.
This is it, yeah.
And like at this point, for example, if I was done with everything, I'd make a presentation in InDesign. I'd write about each option and kind of talk about what I was thinking, and then make a PDF out of it and then send it to the client.
Mm-hmm.
This is number 2. This is it's like a simpler version of this.
Yep.
Just very, very minimal. I think when we were talking about this, we're like, what's like the fewest elements I need in this to convey this idea of minimalism here.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got into this like black.
The cool number 3.
Yeah, and like we were talking about, like that matte. It's just like so cool. I don't know what it is about it.
So if you pick 3 or 4, I'd be okay with it.
Okay. That's this is one of the favorites, apparently.
Apparently. Because it's the best. I mean, come on.
Actually, I think I like this color on the tin the most. I like the green.
But here's the thing, and I'm usually picky about color and hate my color choices and whatever. All 3 of those colors work for me.
Yeah, that's cool. This was the circle one. Good feedback from art director over here with the letting the substrate show through here. So
I think it would be interesting to see that as a metallic.
Mm-hmm. So this is like, this goes back again, like what is the simplest execution I can achieve here? Just simple elements.
All right, and our moderator's creating a poll, so we'll have that up in a second.
Yeah, this to me is like, it's a blend of sophistication and detail mixed with simplicity here. It all really comes down to what's the look you're really trying to achieve here. Which was it modern? Was it? Mm-hmm.
For me, it's 3, 4, and 6.
Mm-hmm. I'm thinking about the name itself, the minimalist. So for me, personally, I'm leaning towards like a 5, possibly a 3, a 2, and a 1. Mm-hmm. I do really like this. Mm-hmm. I'm just trying. I'm going in through my mind, like, does this make sense for the name, the minimalist? Is it minimal enough? I don't know.
See, for me, number 4 is just beautiful design.
Yeah.
All the way around. Mm-hmm. The type treatments, the colors, the logo, the sides.
Yeah.
Yeah, the top, even with the stripes.
Yeah.
It's just all the way around. I love it.
Yeah. And so, like...
But with what you're saying, though, does it fit that brand?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wasn't really thinking of it that way.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, like, how minimal is that? Like, you know...
Eye chart.
Yeah. Here. G.
Thank you. Yeah,
where's
go
the
to
G?
G.
G.
Yeah,
Okay,
there we
G.
go.
G.
Okay, we're good now.
No more eye chart.
Yeah.
You know, it's like... What I was talking about, you know, seeing things on a shelf in a store. Like, there's a
green
big
tea. Right.
green G for green tea. You know, it's like that idea of simplicity. And I even like how the icons here kind of like tell that story.
Love those icons.
You know, in a simple way. Like, I love how it's just like a little logo tucked in that corner on the top.
All right, we got our straw poll up. Let me go to it myself. I'm gonna pick my favorite.
Yeah, and all of, you know, I did 6 options as quick as I could.
Interesting.
You know, if I had 6 options like this, I would, you know, I'd spend a good amount of time making sure everything's consistent, blown out. You know, all the details are there.
All right, we got a live update of what you guys are picking.
Nice. Oh look, my wife just said 4. I was right.
You rock.
I was right. She likes that one.
Danielle, you rock.
Hi Danielle.
But
Yeah,
you
I
know
know.
what? 4's not winning, though. 6 is winning.
Nice. Is that the corner one?
Yeah, that's the last one.
The corner, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I said. It was in my top 3.
Yeah, you know, the more I look at this, there's enough minimalism, if you want to say, or like simple qualities to this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially if you just hear like...
Uh-oh, wait. It's neck and neck now. 4 and 6 are tied.
Oh, nice. Like, if you just see that front like that, that's pretty minimal.
Yeah.
That's pretty simple.
That is very minimal.
And it is cool, especially when you start seeing the sides. You know, another thing is all of the logos themselves, you know, if we go back to this page, all of the logos are pretty simple, which also helps convey that idea. So that also, you know, even if there's a little bit more detail and the packaging's more expressive, I think the logo itself actually helps convey that idea of simplicity and minimalism. So
4 is winning now by 2 votes.
Ooh, nice. Yeah. Yeah.
We're down to our last 3-4 minutes.
Nice. It's nice, like, getting all of this, like, feedback and all the opinions. So.
All right, PT, you gotta go do it on the straw poll, man. But thanks for voting for number 4.
I saw some other. I just wanted to voice my.
Yes.
Nice. I wish I had one of these for every project I did. Like, oh crap!
Well, you can.
It's like
you can go create a poll and put
Yeah.
some stuff up on Behance, let people vote.
it's like, dang, like everyone does like that one.
Yeah. All right, 4-1 so far.
Okay.
All right, any last words, parting words for our audience? Any words of advice? Anything that you'd like to tell this beautiful audience that's been watching us for 3 days?
Thanks for sticking in there with me. This was a lot of fun, actually. It's fun to like see everybody's feedback, and just designing live even was a nice challenge for me. It was a different experience, which I thought was fun. So it's a good exercise of how much stuff can you get done in a few hours, and yeah.
Well, you did an amazing amount of work in a few hours.
Yeah. I
mean, just even, again, I know you did the sketches up front, but just how you brought those to life right in front of us and then turned it into multiple designs. Even for the logo. What do you got, like 12 versions of the logo there?
Yeah.
16 versions of the logo? So 16 versions of the logo, and then all these different canisters or tins with just combinations of how they would all work together.
Yeah, I like to try to get as many ideas as I can out, and I knew I was against the clock a little bit, so I wanted to make sure I could kind of show what I do throughout my process in this amount of time. But it was a good challenge, though.
Yeah.
It was fun.
All right.
It's a lot of fun.
So with that said, folks, thank you so much for watching this 3-day stream on graphic design and packaging design. And don't forget adobelive.com. That's where you can stay tuned for upcoming streams. That's where you can also enter the contest that we have from time to time. Also, we'll be back in 2 weeks. Our next stream is on mobile illustration, sketching on mobile devices like iPad Pro and maybe others. You never know. But definitely come back and check that out. You'll be able to check out Steve's final versions of these, or whichever one he posts on his Behance page at wolf_Steve, I believe, behance.net. All right, and that's it for me. Check it out, and thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, guys.